This is an open letter to my favorite people, some of my favorite people, like Stephen Colbert and Jon Stewart, and the rest of the folks who, help days pass a little easier by, you know, bringing some sense of humor to the environment, which is a great thing. Thank you very much. But here's my open letter to these folks, my favorite people, some of my favorite people, Stephen Colbert, Jon Stewart, and the rest of the Sane Society. Here's the thing. What I don't understand is your attitude towards Elon Musk and your dismissal of him with regards to recent events. You have been okay so far with his little car project and his little, space project. You came along, but when it came to his social project, you're like, where are you going with this? Where are you going with this? And that is the question that has kept run corporation. The corporations are running away from Elon Musk in the present situation in 2023, almost 2024, on your Earth years, recent Earth years. Anyway, this guy. Let's first make sure we are understand something. If a guy is smart and he can look a few steps ahead, you pretty soon the humans on your planet have this tradition of not really understanding a guy who sees a few steps ahead and start calling that guy a weird guy. And I can't even pronounce the word weird properly, so you start calling him weird. If you don't see a few steps ahead, that doesn't mean the guy who does is weird. You didn't see a few steps ahead with regards to electric cars, and he saw it. And you're like, oh, okay, yeah, we understand this. We don't have to, breathe smoke all day long. That's a good idea. Oh, okay, this part we understand. Go on, boy genius. But then with his regards to his social idea of total transparency, you start calling him weird and in a dismissive tone. So does NPR, so does the rest of the Sane Society, supposedly Sane Society. Some are very sane, but I'm not sure why you don't understand this one. He's seeing a few steps ahead in terms of social development. He is seeing a few steps ahead in terms of social development, just like he saw a few steps away in mechanics and physics and electricity, and how we can put that shit into this shit so we don't have to breathe shit all day. He saw a few steps ahead to see what he has to connect to do this properly and get rid of breathing shit all day long. That's a good thing. You understood this, but why aren't you understanding this concept of maybe he's seeing a few steps ahead in terms of social development? Okay, what you're not seeing, sir, what you're not seeing is that, imagine Mr. Stephen Colbert, Mr. Jon Stewart. Imagine there's this guy, you don't know the motherfucker, comes through the door and says, hey dude, I have news for you. There is a cavern forming under your house. It's been forming for a couple of million years now. And it's now getting very close to the surface. At this point in time, on this surface of this fucking planet. So this cavern is forming, is coming to the surface, and it may swallow your house, who knows, tomorrow, maybe next year, I don't know, but there's a fucking cavern under here. You want to see it? So you say, okay, let me see what you got. He digs a hole for you. He puts the camera down there, and the camera starts showing all kinds of shit. You know, tarantulas and snakes and fucking who knows shit has been growing down here for a couple of million years. What has been brewing down here for a couple of million years? You start getting a glimpse of it and you're like, oh shit, I don't want to see it. Back in the house, family back in, everything is fine, back in the house. I don't want to see it. Nope, it's not there. There's shit that's happening under my house, it's not there. If I don't recognize that it's there, if I don't see it on my screen, that means it's not there. Salute to you. This is the Sane Society. The Sane Society doesn't want to see the shit that is there on their screen. It's real, but it's shit. And who wants to see shit on the screen? Shit be it racism, shit being sexism, shit being religiosity, shit being, you know, and I don't care what religion, I'm sorry. I lost cares some while ago what religion. But the point is this. The guy is trying to show you what's under your house, and you do believe this is under your house. You're not living on a different planet. You're living on the same fucking planet. For now, at least you're living on the same planet. You don't want to see under the bonnet? You don't want to see it inside the cavern and how close it is to the surface. And or just what it's not there. I'm sorry, your decision, the idea that there are ugly things in this world and I don't want to see it, so I'm going to boycott Twitter. That's insane. That's like saying I don't want to see all those tarantulas and snakes in this side, these caverns down there, slithering by. I'm mispronouncing that as well. But the point is this, you don't want to see the ugly shit, and you don't want to see how close this shit is to the surface of your civilized society. You don't want to see how close it is to the surface. What, you're waiting to, when you hear a crack, and then you're going to leave the house? You need to hear the fucking crack? The first, no, we have to have a warning. Give us a warning. Well, maybe if you see the shit down there, maybe you start going down there, cleaning shit up, maybe put some foundation in, maybe try to fill the hole before it reaches the surface. Maybe do something, maybe, at least, be aware. The being aware part, which is part of the, true transparency of Twitter, that's the be aware part. You don't even want to be aware that there is a cavern and that those things that are waiting for you down there. You don't want to see that. We don't want to see the racism, and you don't want to see sexism, and we don't want to see our own ugly actions, and we don't want to see our own beautiful bombs over there, waiting to be dropped on some fucking natives that, I guess they don't share something with you. Like, they like to live on their land, and you don't say, no, this is not your land, your deed has no value, because our deed was older. Since when is deeds go back to the origin? I mean, whatever land there is, the last deed is the most valued deed, because some kind of chain of title has held this value in place. There has been some chain of title. You're breaking the whole chain of title in that area in West Asia. You're breaking the chain of title, and you're saying, nope, we want to go back to the last time they stole our title. Because of that, you don't. Here is how it is going, Mr. Stephen Colbert. First of all, should say that every time you people started calling one of these geniuses weird, something bad happened to this genius. You know, burned him at the stake in the Copernicus thing. You know, the thing with the Galileo, and then, you know, every time there is a genius trying to help your fucking humanity, you when you don't understand him, you start calling weird, and then it gets worse from there. No, this is a sensible idea that he has. Very sensible in terms of social development. Total transparency. You have to see the ugly shit that is going down, the ugly beliefs that still exist. You have to see that in total transparency in order to make the correct decision, to take the correct side. But the problem is, to see this ugly shit, Walmart cannot sell his widget next to this ugly shit. Walmart cannot sell their widgets in total transparency. Why? Because who the fuck wants to buy a widget that is Walmart advertising on his screen right next to an ugly image of a child's brain being splattered, you know, taken apart purposefully? It's not that that's not an accident. That's a fucking bomb. Something collateral damage happened. And you don't want your citizens, your people, yourself, you don't want to see that in total transparency. How does that make sense? That is the shit in the hole that is happening. That is the carnage that the wheels of capitalism / freedom / with some bit of a spicy history of whose title on the land is more valuable. Based on these circumstances, you are shooting yourself in the foot. In another word, Mr. Stephen Colbert, when you don't want to try to keep an arm's reach from Twitter, and your corporations has already left. They're on the other side of the doors, because corporations don't want transparency, because widgets don't sell under bad shit. In order to sell widget, as Mr. Bill Maher said a few times, they have to blow sunshine up your ass so you feel safe and secure, so you would buy widget. If you don't feel the sunshine up your ass all the time, you don't want that expenditure of buying a widget. You don't even want to. You're too disturbed by the image. You don't care for the widget any longer. It's the death reminder. The reminder of death makes you less in touch, less in need of widgets. When death mortality, death, the reminder of death doesn't give you the sense of I need more widgets at this time that I'm thinking of death. Nobody does that. If you think of death all the time, you lose respect for widgets or necessity of widgets. You try to get by with as little as possible. So, because you feel that you're not that far from death at any given time, so who's all these widgets for? Therefore, in another words, if I want to say it in reality, the reality is at the same time that Mr. Elon Musk is showing you all the carnage that is going on in that cavern under your house, that any day is about to turn into a sinkhole. You don't want to see that. And the vacuum salesman, let's say Apple, who is going to probably come up with a iSuck vacuum, he's coming to your door. He wants to sell you an iSuck vacuum. He wants to sell you that, Apple. So he really doesn't want you to see the cavern. Because if you see the cavern and the first thing you do is the same thing of leaving the cavern, trying to reduce take as much weight away from first yourself, then your valuables, then most necessary things, trying to take it out of the cavern before this fucking thing falls down, remove weight, and then start filling the hole to hope for the best. After filling the hole, taking care of all, sanitizing down there. That means, not killing people, but finding what their issues are. Okay, why are these people over here dying? What is the issue here? You can't walk down the same street together? Fuck you. Walk down the same street together. Stop killing each other. You can't walk down the same streets together? Well, if you got two legs, I think that should be more than enough qualification to walk. If you walk on two legs, you're qualified to live anywhere on earth that you choose. But so that means, but the problem is, it's not the natives that are pushing the Europeans out. The natives have been pushed out over there in West Asia. So there is a skirmish over there. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. There is a skirmish over there. The images are coming out. Everybody else is censoring these images. Everybody else is not showing you the carnage that is going on. Those tarantulas and scorpions and snakes that are having a good time down in the hole under your house. There is the carnage going on somewhere in the world. They're telling you that you don't need to see that. And Apple certainly doesn't want you to see that, because if you see that, you're not going to buy the newest iSuck vacuum for your house. So Apple is out, Walmart is out, this is out, that is out, they're all out. We can't sell widgets if people, first of all, they're reminded of death by these nasty images, and nobody's censoring them, nobody's covering them up. Folks, your news organizations have brought up a bunch of babies who rather, mental babies who rather not see than do something about it, then stop it with, I mean, are you serious? The carnage is going on, the caverns are under your house. All these nasty creatures are rolling around. There is a carnage, and this hole is very, it's under your house. It's on Earth. Let's put your house is Earth. And whatever, if there is a big enough hole somewhere, and the whole fucking thing collapses. It's the same ball of dirt. It's the same ball of dirt. And you don't want to see the carnage. These corporations certainly don't want you to see the carnage, because, they're in a way they're supporting that carnage by the taxes they're paying. They don't want, and certainly they can't sell any widgets if people are reminded of this death business and how close we are to mortality. They can't sell widgets right next to the truths of mortality. So they're out. So, and your system is, money based, and so, okay, what do we do? If people who can't sell widgets do not support our social causes, then the social causes should go to hell? Transparency is the most important social cause. Transparency is the most important social cause, because the shit comes to the surface during transparency. I don't want to see shit. I don't want to see racist shit. Is not the right attitude. Having the time, then putting down the manpower to properly respond to nonsensical shit is a better idea than ignoring nonsensical shit. Ignoring nonsensical shit is you're ignoring the hole under your house, the cavern under your house. You're ignoring the sinkhole that may form under your house one of these days. You're ignoring that. You want to ignore the nasty shit. I like to ignore the nasty shit, but it's just that doesn't solve the problem that there is shit there. I'm sorry, but every time a smart guy comes about and sees a few moves ahead, you keep banging your head against the wall and saying, this guy is weird, we don't want to go, this is bad, this is not going good, we want to go back. This is, for example, one of the close causes to your heart, Mr. Stephen Kohler, as to everyone's, these mass shootings. You have mass shootings happening, and I believe, as any sane person would, that the main reason this has been continuing is because of trying these news organizations trying to not offend mass sensibilities. The problem has been they have been trying to, under the disguise of defending the sensibility of the masses, they have been hiding ugly shit. So a massacre happened in Sandy Hook, and only very distant images come to the screen, and it's very very sanitized, and if there is any bodies, God forbid that anywhere, they frost it out and they take, we don't want to see it. No, it's not happening. No, we don't want to see it. Fuzz it out. My sensibilities were injured when I saw that. I'm going to sue somebody because my sensibilities were injured. So insensible things happen. Nonsensical things happen. Sensible people don't want to see it, don't want to know, don't want to actually, until it happens to them, don't want to see it even until it happens to them. That's some crazy shit. If it's not happening to me, I don't want to see it. But it's happening to me often. It happens often, and it happens very close to me, but still I don't want to see it on my screen. Why would I want to disturb my afternoon tea by seeing nasty shit on my screen, even though it's happening very close to me? That's crazy. You want to see all, in total transparency, you want to see all the nasty shit that is happening everywhere on your dirt ball of dirt, because those are all the holes in the ground. Those are all the caverns that are forming. And sometimes you even actually go and help break the last, piece that is holding the cavern, the land together. In terms of Gaddafi, you just went, it was a cavern, okay, you helped empty the cavern by blockading the motherfucker in terms of things that they couldn't produce themselves. You blockaded them. No, you can't do business unless you bend over and take it up the ass from us. So he said, no, I don't want to take it up the ass from you. And you said, okay, so you're blockaded. You have blockaded them, and through blockade you have formed a cavern under his house, and he didn't fall over, and he didn't fall over, and he kept on investing in his own house, and he didn't fall over. You keep emptying underneath, and he wasn't falling, until eventually you actually had to go bomb him. And now you have to form the sinkhole, to form the sinkhole. Now you have a fucking sinkhole. In sinkhole of power resulted into mass migration of Africans into Europe because of the sinkhole that was produced by the implosion of the cavern. At the end, you had to actually go prick the fucking thing to make sure his cavern falls and forms a sinkhole. This is insanity. And then your population becomes paranoid that these people are invading us. Why are they coming here? They're coming here because they formed a sinkhole over there. With your own money, with your own tax money, they just formed a sinkhole over there. And these people couldn't live in a sinkhole. It's still a sinkhole. So here's the thing, Mr. Stephen Colbert. Total transparency means all these sinkholes will be detected. And those sinkholes that are turning into those caverns that are about to turn into a sinkhole and destroy a whole bunch of your history, one of those sinkholes have been forming, and they're trying so hard to form this sinkhole over there. They're trying to make a hole under there. For what purpose, I'm not sure. In rapture, bringing exclusivity in a very inclusive piece of land, of course, is going to result into war. Some places are inclusive, some places are exclusive. West Asia is inclusive. It has always been inclusive because it's fucking West Asia. It's right out of Africa. All your ancestors are now the Neanderthals ancestors and all the other motherfuckers who left Africa, they all landed in this piece around the Western Mediterranean. All of them. The Suez Canal is the closest, those two land masses get together. So the point is this: that's a very inclusive piece of land. Everybody has a history over there. Bringing exclusivity to there brings war, forms a sinkhole. How to fix it? Inject inclusivity into it, fill the hole, and the fucking thing will not turn into a sinkhole. The cement that can fill that hole under your house in West Asia before it forms a full-fledged fucking sinkhole, for it not to happen, you have to inject it with cement of inclusivity. Okay, stop fucking being exclusive to that land. That land has too much history on it. It can't be exclusive, period. Make it an inclusive piece of shit hole. And all the nasty images will stop coming out. Yes, for a few months until it stops, Walmart can't sell widget on Twitter. This is how it goes. As long as nasty images comes, Walmart cannot sell widgets. Well, Walmart has a different option besides leaving Twitter. Walmart can say, okay, I'm going to put my weight, my lobbying weight behind stopping the carnage over there. I'm going to put my lobby power into work to stop the carnage over there. And once the carnage stops, the bad pictures don't show up anymore, so I can sell widgets. No problem. That's thinking ahead, Walmart. Mr. iSuck. Instead, you have two options. You can put your lobbying power towards some sort of inclusivity over there, so you have peace. Inclusive places that have a history of inclusivity always do better when they are inclusive because they have a history of inclusivity. And make it so, put your lobbying power behind making that shit show inclusive, so it's no longer a shit show but a pleasant place. for everyone, because it's inclusive. It's like a government, like Uncle Sam's business. Uncle Sam's business is very nice. It's inclusive. As long as everybody keeps their fucking sanity. So the point is this: you call yourself the same crowd. And I agree 90% of the time. But the same crowd is calling the kid who's seeing a few steps ahead to how to stop that carnage, getting more people killed. How to stop that is, show it to the folks. And then by showing being transparent about it and showing it to the folks, that will, if the corporations were smart, they would be putting their lobbying power behind stopping the carnage, so the bad pictures go away, so I can sell widgets. To make the bad pictures go away, so I can sell bad, these racist things, find out what's the problem, who's getting screwed where, and try, help him not get screwed. That way you don't have bad images on your screen. But they're not doing that. Walmart is saying, no, I'd rather not advertise on Twitter than put any lobbying power behind stopping nasty shit, because I don't care. Folks, I mean, even the corporations should understand that in order to have, peaceful expansion, in order to have any expansion, you can't go through with it through destruction. There has to be a city there so you can put a fucking Walmart on top of it. There has to be a city there so you can put a couple of McDonald's on it. There has to be a city there. And the bigger the city is, the more you can sell McDonald's. Not advertising on Twitter is not the right way to go. Not trying to participate in Twitter, Mr. Stephen Colbert, because of all the nasty racist shit that may come out. That's the shit under your house. It's insane not to want to see it or hear about it. The correct solution is that you come on Twitter, everybody comes on Twitter. It has been established. It's the grandfather of this business. It has been established. Everybody comes on there. You see the shit, then please come up with the manpower or sense of responsibility to raise some logical points when some shit that you don't agree with is being talked about. You raise some logical points and participate in the conversation. I mean, eventually you primates will get it. But here is one primate that has, seen a few steps ahead. Why are you fucking with him? Here's the thing, folks, Mr. Stephen Colbert, John Stewart, and the rest of the folks, the Sane Society, you have to be for this total transparency. And you have to, make sure your sponsors and supporters and Walmart and, iSuck, Apple, iSuck, vacuum cleaners, would know. I'm sure Apple has to name their vacuum cleaner iSuck, because iPhone iSuck. But the point is this: you have to force your sponsors and these corporations to use their lobbying power to stop the carnage, to stop the pictures from coming out. And that's the correct solution. That's what happened to Vietnam. eventually pictures found their way out. Without pictures, pictures are, you folks are not very, good with words written. They say, picture does a job of 1,000 words. That it is this. You pick up images, words on a page. Everyone forms their own interpretation of the page. That's the beauty of the book. But the image is solid. You primates are very programmed into remembering shadows, solid figures in images. You remember images because your brain was designed to remember images. But now you're telling me that Walmart doesn't want, not only I don't want to see these images, but also Walmart doesn't want to see these ugly images. Why? Because Walmart can't sell widgets next to ugly pictures. Apple cannot sell iSuck vacuum cleaner to the owner of the house if the owner of the house knows there's a fucking cavern under his house. Apple wants to sell his iSuck vacuum. But the population the Sane Society has to recognize that no, there is some sanity to this idea, total transparency, and my sponsors and my supporters and the corporations that I sponsor and whoever, whatever, they should put their lobbying power to stop those pictures from appearing on everybody's screen. Not the idea that don't show me the images. I don't want to see it. It's disturbing. It disturbs my afternoon tea. The Sane Society.